Hey, Christy Mattoon here from Rewire. Thank you for being here. Beyond heart coherence is something I love. It's like something I'm passionate about right now. It's helping people move into their heart space and then move beyond heart coherence, moving beyond into that space of your spirit. And I recently posted a rant all over my social media, and I got a ton of comments, and I got a ton of people asking, "Are you all right? Like, what's going on?" And so first of all, I just want to iterate that I am all right. Everything is fine. Everything is going to be fine. One of the things I wanted to say, because people, it's funny to me actually, people keep saying, "Wow, you're not, like, you're human." Like, yeah, imagine that. I am human. You have to realize that I'm not a perfect person. I am not in a perfected state yet. That's what I'm working towards. Isn't that what we're all working towards, is hitting that perfected state, even in our humanism, our human bodies. And one of the things that we're told, I believe it's a huge lie, is that you can't be perfected in your human state. I disagree with that, I really do. And I think it's what yogis for centuries have strived for. It's what gurus for centuries have strived for. And we're coming into a period of time where there's a huge opening coming up, where there's going to be a massive up-leveling in consciousness. I believe that people who have been preparing, who have been doing work towards this level of consciousness, are going to have a huge shift in, not only their ability to create their rainbow body and the ascension processes and turn on their Merkaba and all of these wonderful things that we all talk about and teach, but beyond that, you're going to start to recognize that perfected part of you even more, which is your spirit, right? It's internal, it's eternal. The secret space of the Most High is talked about in ancient texts, and that secret space is your heart space, and that's where your spirit lives. And right, so I think that's going to have a huge opening, and a lot of stuff is going to change and alter in response to moving into 2021. We are moving into a new age, and that will be realized before the end of this year, which is very soon. So I guess I'm doing this video just to say I'm not a perfect person. I do run into issues. I come back to heart coherence when I recognize I've stepped out of it. I find it all amusing and pretty funny at this point, because life happens, and this is a quote that you see all over the place. Life happens, and it's not what happens, it's how you handle it. It's how you deal with it. And sometimes dealing with it means you have to put it aside, whatever the it is. Sometimes dealing with whatever's going on around you means you have to lay things down and walk away. And people will look at that and say, "Wow, but this is like a big thing. This is a huge," right? You're walking away from a job. You're walking away from, I don't know, a child, family, which is what I'm actually doing right now. I'm walking away from things, and things have walked away from me. People have walked away from me, in realizing our true selves and realizing, hey, this isn't what we thought it was, and it doesn't really work the way we've been taught that it works. And I don't have to deal with their issues. How do I want to say this? I don't have to deal with the way that they want to treat the issues at hand, right? You don't have to stand there and take BS from people who are just slinging BS because they don't have another way to handle themselves. And if I'm working on my ascension, if I'm working on my own consciousness and I'm trying to up-level that, and then I have to keep stopping and questioning myself basically because of something they did, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. You tell me that I am not doing this right, and I'm not doing okay, and this is a mess, and everything is hard, and look what I'm doing for you, and all the stuff that goes along with it. And at some point you can decide to say, I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not going to do this the way that you're prescribing it, right? So people who are control freaks, people who are narcissistic, people who think that they know it all and they have all the answers, even though they really don't, and they're probably pretty insecure. And it shows up. It really shows up, and it drives other people away. And that's where my where I'm saying, you know, you have to realize I'm not perfect. So in my imperfection, this is where I'm just stepping back going, and I get to make a choice here, right? This is the ability to choose and decide for yourself. What do I want to see in my life? I don't want to see mayhem. I don't want to see people causing chaos in other people's life for really no good reason. You think you're helping, you think you're doing something to cause a great change or to make somebody's life better, but you didn't stand back far enough to look through it and really sort through it to see that, you know, and sometimes hindsight kicks us in the butt. It really does. And I think that's some of what's gone on here. But in the hindsight, when do you stop and go, okay, wait a minute, let's redirect. Let's reshuffle the cards and redirect this boat, because this didn't go the way that it was supposed to have gone, I guess. I don't know. But in all of that, everybody gets a choice. Everybody gets to make a decision. If anybody has taught me this super well, it's probably my oldest daughter, who made some very interesting decisions a very long time ago. And one of the things that taught me was that your ability to decide and choose things doesn't end your life. It doesn't end things that you've already started. It actually amplifies them and helps you create new, right? This is about walking away from your past. And this is about how, if you get stuck in your past, I'm going to get really specific here so you understand what I'm talking about. If you are trying to walk away from your past, but your past is still living with you, this was probably my daughter's situation, right? Some of it. She caused a lot of her own mayhem, never owned it. We got tired of dealing with it. And I think she did too. And so however it plays out at that point. The situation right now is actually with my mother, who I'm just going to say out loud was a huge narcissist. I've talked about this before. Living under the guise of narcissism caused really strange issues for 4 kids that were in the household, each raised in such different ways with such different mentalities about what we thought we understood about our own lives, created such division, like real craziness. It was real chaos and mayhem. My whole life, I've always thought I was very confused. It's been very frustrating. And when I started piecing some of this together, I was like, wow, that's what this is, right? So the situation at hand right now deals with her. And if you can't walk away from your past in totality and say, I really have to put this down and move away from it, which is what my daughter did. Right, wrong, or indifferent, some of the things that she did were definitely by societal standards wrong, right? Not paying your bills, not taking care of some of the things that you signed for and spent and took advantage of, and then leaving it for other people, definitely by societal standards wrong. But what she did was to walk away from everything and then reset up a system, right? Reset up her system. Does this make sense? And I understood that, right? Even though it was hurtful and painful, I understood that. So it's what I'm trying to do for myself. In my life right now, trying to help or watch or participate in what a person is doing, trying to help my mother, you know, God bless her. I got nothing left for you. I have nothing left that I want to put into this situation. I would love to speak to her again. I would love to talk to her one more time about the way things have been and are and what I think. And I have no qualms about, you know, forgiveness and compassion with her at this point. That's where I'm at. But I can't do it when another person is standing there trying to dictate phone calls and dictate how everything's going to go and be handled. It just doesn't work in my life, and I have to stop my process because she called on the phone to say, hey, I've got this going on, let's talk right now. I'm in the middle of a class, I can't do that, right? I'm in the middle of coaching somebody, I can't do that. I'm in the middle of a meditational session with somebody, I can't just stop and do that, right? And the lack of understanding is just interesting. And so you put all those things down. This is my life. This is what's going on, right? So understand this. This is not a made-up story. You got to put some of this stuff down, which is where I'm at. I'm going to put it down. I walk away from it. I put it down hardcore the last 2 days, and I'm just like, this is so interesting. My breathing changed. My breathing issue, my breathing situation changed. My my level of, and it's been waxing and waning, some of this stuff over the last probably 12 hours has been such an like almost palpable, tangible, I don't even know how to describe it, energy flowing through me that I'm just like, whoa. I'm just allowing it to happen. I'm allowing things to move. I keep coming back to sensing. If you've worked with me at all, you know what I'm talking about. Sensing my living rainbow body, watching the colors move, watching the openings through the chakras or the energy centers, re-energizing things and moving and letting this energy flow. And I'm at a deeper level of, I can't even call it peace anymore. It's a deeper level of something that I'm just like totally satisfied, totally okay. I have discovered more about I am enough than I ever thought I would know. It's interesting, right? How deeply can you walk away from your past? How deeply can you lay it down and say, in a gentle way, enough is enough? I don't think I was gentle in a few circumstances. And oddly, I'm okay with that. Oddly, I think in a lot of ways, it created a break in the energy. Literally, and we talk about cutting cords and moving energy cords from us. It took some of the energy cords that were binding me in different areas and transmuted them, moved them, however you look at it. I'm not sure exactly what happened in my system. I am not the same person standing here today. I don't know how else to say it. It's fascinating to me. So if this helps you, take it for what it's worth. Comment below if you want to. People will come up with their own little ideas and thoughts about it, that you're being a victim. I've heard that so many times about things I've posted. I'm like, no, I'm trying to explain to you how this is playing out. So if you can see it in your own life, maybe it'll help you and help you alter things too. That's what I'm trying to say. And comment below, throw it on there, whatever you think you're hearing or seeing or understanding or witnessing in this, please comment below. And then if you have any questions, send me an email. If you want to know what Beyond Heart Coherence is and what it is we're doing inside these private groups, let me know, because the work is getting bigger and bigger. The closer we get to 2021, the alterations and changes that are happening in people's systems are it's faster, which is interesting because the energy is closer that changes this stuff. The veil has gotten thinner. It absolutely has. I get 3 or 4 calls a day of people telling me, wow, what is going on? All of a sudden I'm seeing things that weren't there before, and I'm hearing things. And then I've still got other people going, I want to do this so bad. But then when we sit down and do the work, all of a sudden they're like, oh, wow. Because it's just right here. It literally is just right here, right? Everything is meshing together right now in this space and time. So that's super interesting. I'm going to get off because this video is already longer than I had intended for it to be. But I hope this helps. And I bless you in this. I bless me. I bless you. I witness you as light. I witness myself as light. And I think it's the best way we can do things is start to witness each other as light and recognize that light within us. It'll pull it forward even faster. And that seems to be what's happening. All right. I'll talk to you again soon.